Celtics Beat is brought to you by PRIZEPICKS and the GameTime app.
All right, everyone, welcome in. There's just so much happening with this team. So much good that is going on with this team. Wins in 9 out of 10, of course, on the road for the next 5 after an emphatic win to begin the road trip in Utah. No problem against the tanking Jazz. The Celtics 5 games behind the coming back down to earth just a little bit Cleveland Cavaliers here late in the regular season for the top seed in the East. Will they catch them? No. Does it matter? No. Firmly second in the conference, and maybe the Cavs get knocked out before you see them, and then home court advantage can go through you in the Eastern Conference come the postseason. We got a long time to get into stuff like that. Since our last show, some big news. One, Kristaps Porzingis has returned, shaken off whatever illness he had, and has looked great in the last 3 games. And of course, the thing that we have been waiting for, we wondered when it would happen, the Celtics have been sold. At least the announcement has been made. Whether all the I's have been dotted and T's have been crossed and all of that, I have no idea. But it's going to happen, so welcome to the family, Bill Chisholm and company. More on that in just a moment. Cedric Maxwell is here with us. Evan Valenti, I am Adam Kaufman. Max, good to see you, bud.
Good to see you guys this early morning out here on the West Coast. Nice being with you.
Great to have you here with us. And look, let's start with the sale. And this is two-pronged. You know, I want to celebrate ourselves because if we don't, nobody will. Look, there was just a release that just a few days ago. Best 80 Boston sports podcasts from this company, millionpodcast.com. I have no idea, in fairness, how the metrics are determined, the rating system, reviews, what algorithm puts this list together, because I don't think it's a human. But the reason I bring this up is because Celtics Beat checked in at number 5 on the list, behind only some Sports Hub and WEEI programming. So outside of your mainstream radio station shows that have been sent out into the podcast ether, the only true podcast, which might call us number 1 on the list, is Celtics Beat. I say that not to really, I joke about celebrating ourselves. Really, it's a testament to you out there watching, listening. We thank you. But I bring it up also to say, hey, Bill Chisholm, I know I saw you on NBC Sports Boston the other night, geeking out over being a fan of Chris Forsberg and Abby Chin and the product, and you're from Georgetown, and you're just so amped up to be doing this. You're root for the team. You're a fanboy like the rest of us. If so, please reach out directly or have your assistant reach out. DM me on Twitter at Adam M. Kaufman. We'd love to have you on the show. We can geek out some more here, Ev.
No question about that. Love to have him on, but it's tough to one up the MVP of the 1981 NBA Finals, who we have on our show right now, and we got to get to.
No, you can win up on him with the man paying $6 billion for a team. You can win up on me all day long. I mean, if I
Max, when did you start on the radio broadcast? I'm trying to remember what year.
Oh, this year coming up. This is year number 30 for me right now.
Okay, 30.
30?
All right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. So then you were early on in your radio broadcasting career with the Celtics when Grossbeck and Company bought the team. So you've been through this. You've been through this already. So you know all the conversation, all the potential angst around what is a new owner going to do. Like we're getting right now. We're hearing everything that fans want to hear. Georgetown native, grew up rooting for the team. Johnny Most, listening to him on the radio, all that stuff. Like he's met with Brad, he's met with Joe, he's met with not the players yet, but everyone at a higher level of importance, and talked about sustaining what is going on right here and being competitive annually and chasing championships. And again, everything a fan would want to hear about an incoming owner who candidly we don't know anything about, comes from the private equity circuit and or sector, and like managing director, chief investment officer of Symphony Technology Group. Obviously nobody around here is familiar with this group in California. We just hear local guy pays record $6.1 billion to lead a group to buy the Boston Celtics. Now what's going to happen going forward? If you're part of the organization in many ways, but outside of that, you are a fan. You root for their success. So what are your concerns with a new owner coming in?
Um, the concerns I have, I just think that I hope he keeps things status quo. This team right now is on a great trajectory to be a team that can perennial all stars you have on this team. You have Tatum, you have Brown, you have Joe Mazzulla, who is one of the best coaches around. Brad Stevens has done a tremendous job in the front office. So I hope that he keeps most of the car together and doesn't change too many parts. Obviously, it's his team. A lot of things are going to go his way. The fact that Wick is going to be around for a while, for the next 2 or 3 years, maybe that might be something that, might be good because people are going to be familiar. But if you pay that kind of money for a team, you also want to be the face of the team also. So it just seems like it's going to be a great marriage for a guy who is from New England, who understands the Celtics, who loves the Celtics, and money won't be the object, but the new rules which come into place are going to be the object. And those rules are going to say they're going to be a point where it's going to be one of those top tier players that you're probably going to lose. And the fans have to be ready for that particular thing and not blame him, but it's just the new rules of the NBA.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is, and this has come up a lot on Celtic City, that documentary series that Bill Simmons put together, and the idea of Celtic basketball.
What?
What's up?
What?
Yeah, right. We have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we've seen you a little bit already, Max, in the show, a little bit. But the Celtic way, I think it's discussed in this documentary, in the documentary series, in an interesting light, right? Like it's a way of life. It's not just like not, for lack of better words, Cedric, it's not bullshit. This is real. Mm-hmm. And keeping that rich history together as it goes through each era is extremely important. And so as you look at a guy coming in who's a fan, mm-hmm. and probably understands that better than most people, I would guess to be a big positive here. But at the expense of possibly a new face coming in, you have Pags, who's been sitting there, as a minority owner for a long time. He already understands this. Mm-hmm. So is there any concern from where you're sitting on, like, look, yes, congratulations, you purchased the team. It's a huge accomplishment, but like, understand what you're coming into. There's history here. There's a lot of culture built through this team. Like, you have to understand that, and you have to be willing to not only carry that legacy, but add to it. Is there any concern of like an outside guy coming in and maybe screwing that up? Because that's really important.
Well, let's tell you what, you go to Encore and the casino in Boston right now, go to the bathroom, and going into the bathroom, there's a big picture of Bill Russell and Tom Heinsohn and all those guys coming off the floor. And there's a quote in there from Red Auerbach. The quote is, "The Celtics aren't just a team. They are a way of life." And if you go out in the general public, you go out around this country, we've seen it again last night in Utah. When the Celtics travel, they travel probably better than any team right now in the NBA because of the way of life, the culture. You can see that we go to Utah and look like half the building was green because so many Celtic fans get this one chance to see the Celtics coming to Utah. So saying that, I think that he would get an understanding immediately of what this is like. And if he's grown up here, he's grown up also with talk radio. He's also grown up with the Celtics. He's grown up with the Bruins. He's grown up with the Red Sox. And for him to know Johnny Most and listen to the game on the radio, that's a whole nother fabric which comes into play and dynamics of it. So I don't think that he's coming in like a person, say, that bought it from another country, bought this team. There's a gentleman, I think, who bought the team Sacramento who is from India.
Mhm.
And they're having a lot of different things which are going down. But because he's in the general vicinity, I think this is a really cool thing for the Celtics and a real good thing for the NBA and the Celtic family. I think that Brad Stevens, who is really kind of running the operation there, just wants one thing. He wants the continuity of his staff and people who are around. But he understands at the same time is that Mr. Chisholm is going to bring in maybe some small cosmetic changes that you would think about.
Show is powered by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. And with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. You just pick more or less and at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It's 1 with 3 zeros, folks. Don't forget that. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. And we have our picks for this week. Saturday night, I have a couple of plays here. Last week, I just came up short, and I can't believe the Tatum points are what cost me last week. I thought that was automatic with Brooklyn, over 28 or more than 28 and a half. Can't believe that didn't hit. Unbelievable. But this week, we're going to do something a little different. OG Anunoby on the Knicks. We're going to go less than 2.5 made threes. I don't think he's a great shooter, so I'm just going to tell you that right now. Giannis, the Greek freak, more than 10.5 rebounds. And then Jimmy Butler. I know he's been great with the Warriors so far, but we're going to go less than 7 assists. You hit all 3 to 4x your money. It is that simple. You couldn't get it any easier than that. And they make getting your money out and back into your wallet and into your bank account even easier with Venmo. Nothing easier than that. So download the app today. Use the code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that is CLNS. After you download the app, you get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
Well, a couple things. One, Encore, you could have done better than putting that thing by the bathroom. That's just from the outset.
Look, I'm just giving you a fact. I'm just telling you where it's at.
I'm just saying that's
any more than that.
It's a pretty nice thing. Don't stuff it over there, like in an airport terminal or something.
Don't you think more people have to go to the bathroom than anything else in the Encore? Either they're sick because they lost and going, oh my God. So I'm sure that thing gets plenty of mileage over there.
The other thing, and look, we've been talking about this, not so much on recent shows, but, when the announcement of the Grossbeck family selling the team first came up, and a little bit along the way, it was, all right, who is going to be next? And you're talking about, pros and cons of potential buyers, and not necessarily names, although in some cases names. For instance, there was a lot of like Jeff Bezos and all that money that could come in and maybe build you a new arena. And, but does he have any like Celtics ties? Does he have any Celtics loyalties? No, of course not. But he's a no-name commodity with of course billions of dollars. And then it was like Fenway Sports Group. Holy crap, what a nightmare. Please don't let that happen. Like that would have been your, at least as far as we believe it from the outset, like your worst case scenario, a team that, or a group that went in and revitalized the Red Sox in so many positive ways. And then sort of after a period of time checked out and treat them like a line item on a spreadsheet in a portfolio of teams at this point in time that includes, Liverpool and Fenway Sports Roush Sports Racing and Pittsburgh Penguins and wants an NBA expansion team and all this stuff. It's like, you're not important. A guy coming in now who obviously does not own a team. You mentioned all the positives of being a local guy and what that can mean. I think the biggest thing, and I would say this is not specific to Bill Chisholm. I would say this about literally anybody. Like you said, they got a great trajectory. They got a great thing going right now. You keep Brad Stevens, obviously, so long as he doesn't want to go anywhere. You keep Joe Mazzulla, so long as he doesn't want to go anywhere. You keep footing the bill for all of these players, and yeah, you do have some mathematical gymnastics to bear out a little bit as it relates to luxury taxes and the second apron and all of that. You can't keep everyone forever. It's not the old days and the recent old days in the NBA, but there are ways that you can sustain this, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's just a function of don't get in the way. And there are a lot of people that believe that, people with billions of dollars, again, just categorically want a medal, right? Like you've got that kind of money, you got that kind of power, you want to be involved, you want to Jerry Jones the thing, you want to meddle. Don't meddle, and this thing can continue going in a great direction. That would be my only concern about any owner. This is not so far. Again, Bill Chisholm has said all the right things that would get fans excited. I just like, you don't need to drift off into the background and not be seen. Like, sit there on the sidelines for as many games as you want and meet with the media and be kind of that, be the face, like you said, like Wyc Grousbeck has been for so many years and will continue to be in a figurehead role, I suppose, for the next few. But just don't send this thing sideways.
I think all I hear you got, and I know this is a family show, but all I I keep hearing you say over and over again, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. Exactly.
Just don't fuck it up. Yeah, I think that's all, people who are around, I think that's what you think, with the organization. But people do have visions. And it's like Wick and Pags, they had a vision of winning another championship. And the whole ownership group, Banner 18, to get there. They did their part. They got those pieces in place. And I am sure that Mr. Chisholm has a great idea about what he wants to do for this team, and that's continue to win. So I don't see a problem, especially on the basketball side. The only thing you see in the horizon is that eventually you're going to have to probably give up a player. Now, I don't think it's Brown. I don't think it's Tatum. You have solidified and kept those two guys. But can you keep Porzingis? How long can you keep him? You signed Drew Holiday to a long-term deal. Derek White has a long-term deal. Pritchard is a long-term deal. So your key players are in place. But tell fans they have to remember that one thing. It's an apron which says you cannot do this. They're trying to even the floor all together with these NBA teams and not have these super teams. And right now, frankly, the Celtics are a super team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And of the core group, we know Tatum and Brown are, well, we hope. We don't know anything. We gotta back up. We hope that Tatum and Brown get to play together for their entire careers.
That's
the hope.
Show is number one. You just all of a sudden you do exactly what I always tell people. Don't act like you know it all. All you have to do is say, look, yeah, this, and then you say, you know what? We really don't know. And you let things happen. That's the way I feel in broadcasting. I learned that from Tommy Heinsohn. I can't come in there and predict the game with all the stats because Sean, my broadcast partner, has all the stats already. So if I gave you stats on top of his stats, then we're giving you a show full of just numbers. So you have to have some imagination. What you said about your show, when you say, look, we really don't know. We're just in the business right now of thinking what could possibly happen. And that's what's going to keep your show, gentlemen, that's what's going to keep you guys relevant.
Totally agree. Yeah, but it's one of these things you look at that core group and it's, there's a lot of valuable pieces on there. And we hope that Jalen and Jason stick around for the long haul. But of the other guys, the KPs, the Derek Whites, the Drew Holidays, which one of those guys are you prioritizing the most to make sure that we maximize this window with Tatum and Brown as much as possible?
I would love for it to be Porzingis. Derek White definitely has to be in there. I think if you Drew, an older player right now, there's going to be some transition with him. Although he is playing great, and I think he is essential to them winning. But Derek White's younger. KP is the unicorn that you can't figure out how to guard this guy yet. When he's on the floor and he's hitting shots and defending with Brown and Tatum, that three-headed monster already is far beyond anything that I've ever seen wearing Celtic uniform. So, yeah, I figured though that would be me. I would say Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, White would be the next person. Then after that, I think you have to start thinking and prioritize who you can keep and how long you can keep them.
So down the stretch of this season, right now the Celtics have played on the nose 70 games. So we're down to the dirty dozen here. I know it's coming, man. Playoffs are right around the corner.
Yes.
Fun stuff's coming. Jaylen Brown has, the team released a statement. He's missed a little time here, and he has been diagnosed with a bone bruise, posterior impingement in the right knee, and he's going to miss at least the next 2 games, be reevaluated on Monday. Personally, this is not alarming or concerning to me. I don't care if he doesn't play again until game 1 of the playoffs. Just you're right now.
No. Let's not say that.
Go ahead.
You do care. You do care. You need to have these guys, the 5 guys, your 5 starters, need to be back probably at least playing 3 games together, for the end of the year. And okay. I know that, the injury could be there, but you have to have them back right now for timing's sake. They need the Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, Holiday, White. Those guys need to be on the floor. And I hope before the end of the regular season, because you're trying to work on these different things to help your group get better from a standpoint of just knowing each other. The percentage, I think somebody said that the starters had played this year, I think is maybe 20%, something crazy when you think about the teams I've been on, when you had starters who played 85% or 90% together. So, and I'm not saying, it alarms me, but I want them back just to be familiar again and their timing to be together.
That's fair. Makes sense. So fine. Game 79. Sit for a little bit.
Okay.
Get yourself right. We'll get you
79
back
to play what? 5 minutes together? Is that it?
Yeah.
Quick break to tell you today's show is powered by Game Time. There's nothing better in life than going to a live sporting event. So many core memories I have as a kid revolve around going to some sporting event. First baseball game, Mo Vaughn against the Brewers, hit a bomb over the monster. It was fantastic. I think it was like 7 or something. Huge moment for me. And you can create those memories too with Game Time, because now it's literally the easiest it's ever been to go to a game. And that's thanks to people over at Game Time. They always have their Game Time picks. They have super deals, awesome deals. Basically, tickets that are too good to be true. They're shown to you right up front. Makes life so easy. Celtics have some huge games coming up. Playoffs are on the docket again this season. A lot of big home games. Make sure you check Game Time to see what tickets are going for. My girlfriend's a ginormous Sabrina Carpenter fan. Oh, you didn't know they do more than just games? You go to sporting events, but you also go to theater and music and comedy shows all over the place. Again, my girlfriend's a huge Sabrina Carpenter fan. I'll be looking at tickets when she comes to New York City in November. Trust me, I'm going to try. We'll see how it goes. But if I do and I purchase them, they will be purchased with Game Time. You get all in pricing right up front, no surprise fees at checkout. You get a panoramic view from your seat before you buy them, so you can make sure that those are the seats you really do want to sit in. And they have the lowest price guarantee. So if you find some that are less expensive, send it to Game Time. They'll credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
Just make sure. Look, I mean, there's all this conversation right now, Max, around, like can the Celtics win the whole thing without Porzingis? Like that's been a big talking point. And no, they can't beat the Cavs if KP isn't healthy. Maybe true, maybe not. I don't personally agree with it. I think the Celtics team is incredibly deep and a well-oiled machine. And when everybody is right, obviously they're on another level. And when someone is out, that has them a little bit restricted. But just the thing that has wowed me about Porzingis in particular is he misses all this time, multiple weeks with this, plague or whatever he had, and now comes back. And in 3 games, Max, and like consistency does matter to me. This is a guy who has scored in double figures every game he's played this year, except for one when he scored 9 in 13 minutes. These last 3 games, 24 points on 9 of 16 shooting. I know the 3 wasn't falling. That was the first game back. Next game, 25 points, 13 rebounds. The next game, last night, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. He is 5 for 16 from 3 in these 3 games. He's shooting roughly 60% from the field across the board in the 3. The minutes are, right around 27, 28 on average. He's playing awesome. Like, he didn't miss a beat. So I don't think anyone needs to, tune into this show and like, tell me about the importance of Kristaps Porzingis. We know he's important. The fact that he has shaken off whatever illness that he had and come back and is such an immediate factor the way he is should only get people excited.
Yeah, it should. The fact that the thing that he does better than any big that we have, and it was no offense at all when you had Rob Williams around, but the pick and roll with KP, and he gets you in the post with that small guy that he sets the pick for, and they find him right there at the free throw line or in the paint. He punishes the other team, and he's going to score, and he's going to get them in foul difficulty. When Rob Williams was there, and sometimes I look at Al in that situation, catching the ball under the hoop, 2 feet away, and you look to pass it out quickly, and you don't even explore the possibility of scoring. That's what he brings to the table, that he can score and punishes the other team and gets the other team in foul difficulty and really gets the Celtics off to really good starts, I feel, in that way. So I'm very happy to see that he's come back. But every time he falls, I think we all just kind of
Yep.
He feels like it's like Rob Gronkowski all over again, man. It's just I shiver.
Man. All right. Well, listen, I remember on CLNS, Bobby Manning used to, if I'm remembering this right, used to do like a Celtics Minute podcast with like, here's your latest like daily news with the Boston. I think he did that. Maybe I'm misattributing it, but I think he did.
Mike Walsh had something to do with that too. So I'm going to throw out Mike Walsh. We love Mike Walsh on this show.
But by our standards here on Celtics Beat, 20 minutes is basically the Celtics Minute. So we hit all of the important things, right? Celtics sold, Porzingis back and awesome, Brown dealing with an injury, and you out there, the listener and viewer, are incredible, which makes us great, and we appreciate all of you. But Max, stretch 1 of the regular season here, playoffs right around the corner. Normally we keep you much longer. We greatly appreciate you hopping on for a short time. We'll do it again real soon, even sooner, just so we can get more expansive thoughts, because I do want to know, so there are some issues with this team that I want to address with you. And I want to know your thoughts on this Celtic City documentary and what you've thought a few episodes in, because we're, as we sit here now, we're about to, enter the Bird era and the 80s. And, you will be more of a focal part. So very excited about that.
Well, I'm very excited about, coming back on your show. I'm just a little surprised that we didn't talk about one of the greatest plays that we ever saw in last night's game, when Jason Tatum did like Pele and kicked the ball as it was running behind him, kicked it, and it popped up and it hit him right in the hands. I've never seen that play before. So, yeah, I want to come back and explore all these wonderful things about the Boston Celtics. And, guys, thank you for having me on. I appreciate your time.
We didn't explore it because it was illegal and it shouldn't have counted, but I loved it. It was awesome. For Cedric Maxwell, for Evan Valenti, I'm Adam Kaufman. We'll do it again real soon. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.